Hi everyone. In this video I am going to explain how to develop a simple JSP page. I will explain how to develop simple JSP page using NetBeans. There is reason why I have chosen NetBeans for this example. I will explain the reason when I explain the example. Okay, let us start. In NetBeans, to create web application, go to File, choose New Project. Out of these options, choose Java Web and then choose Web Application. Click Next. Give web application name Hello World JSP, something, anything you can give. Click Next. This is the Java EE version. You can choose anything, but I prefer to use this Java EE 5. If you have not set up the server already, you have to go to add, choose the server and give the Tomcat home path, and then the server will be shown in the drop down. I have already completed that part, that's why I can select Tomcat here. Click Next. If you are using any frameworks in NetBeans, you can easily select those frameworks. If you are working with Struts, just click this one, but right now we are not using anything, that's why I'm not checking anything. Okay, click Finish. Okay, by default it has generated one JSP page. Okay, we will create one JSP page. Right click on the project, click New JSP. We will give a name Hello World. Okay, click Finish. If you see, the .jsp page is the extension for the JSP page. JSP page is nothing but an HTML file which contains some server-side coding. Okay, we will go into details in the coming sections. In this video I will show you how to access this JSP page. Okay, how to generate some content. Suppose if you in JSP page you can write Java code using this tag. Okay, you have, this is called scriptlet. This is one of the JSP elements. This is called scriptlet. Okay, if you want to write something to the browser from a Java code, you can use this scriptlet. Okay, out.println hi Java learners, I am from scriptlet. Okay, but what is this out? In servlet we use response.getWriter. You will get printWriter object, and then using write method you will send something to the browser, right? In the same way, out is a JSP writer object. JSP writer is not printWriter. This is a separate class. Okay, so out is an object for JSP writer. But in Java, to use any variable, we have to declare it, but we didn't declare out anywhere, but still I am calling println method from the out object. How that is possible? But before seeing that, I will execute this page and then I will explain how could I use an object reference without declaring it. Okay, let us run this page. Right click and click run file. while deploying, we will see what is a JSP page. JSP page is nothing but a servlet. Okay, JSP page gets converted into servlet. Okay, if you see, I got the output, hi Java learners, I am from Scriptlet. Okay, now we will see, I will explain these two things. What is JSP page? It is nothing but a servlet. The container will convert the JSP page into servlet. Okay, now we can see that servlet choose the JSP page. In NetBeans, it is very easy to see that Java file. Means this JSP page will be converted by container into a servlet .java file. Okay, if we write any errors, see, scriptlet should be starting with less than percentage and percentage greater than. We should not make any mistake. If we make any mistake, container cannot convert this into .java file. First, the container will convert the JSP page into .java file. Means the .java file contains servlet code. Okay, and then that will be compiled into that .java file will be converted into .class file, and from there is no difference between servlet and JSP page. Now to see the code, as I said, this entire JSP page will be converted into a servlet by the container. If you want to see that, right click, view servlet. Can you see? If you see, this JSP page extends HTTP JSP page. You know that every servlet extends HTTP servlet, right? But if you see this, it is extending some HTTP JSP base. If you click on this, you can see that HTTP JSP page base class extends HTTP servlet. So generally when we write some servlet, we directly extend HTTP servlet. But what happens is, the container will create a class which extends the HTTP servlet. Okay, the .jsp page will be converted into servlet, right? That page, it is nothing but a servlet. That servlet will not directly extend HTTP servlet. Instead of that, it will extend a class which extends the HTTP servlet, right? If you see this class hello world JSP, that means your .jsp page converted into this Java code, and that class, instead of extending directly the HTTP servlet, it extends a class which extends the HTTP servlet. That means this class extends HTTP JSP page, HTTP JSP base extends the HTTP servlet. So this class is nothing but servlet. Okay, now the question comes, without declaring this out, how could I use this out? If you see the code, view servlet, can you see? There is a method called JSP service. Okay, where does this method comes from? Okay, if you click the HTTP JSP base, this class extended the HTTP servlet, as well it implements a HTTP JSP page interface. This interface contains the JSP service. Got it? So basically the class HTTP JSP page, this class implemented the HTTP JSP page interface as well as it extends the HTTP servlet. Okay, that's why the .jsp page which converted into the servlet, this HTTP JSP base implemented, right? That's why these are the implement. This whatever you write into the scriptlet, that will go into the underscore JSP service method. Remember, when you write something in scriptlet, all that content will be moved to or will be kept under a method called JSP service. Who will does this work? The container will, while converting the JSP page into the servlet, it will move that code, the JSP code, into JSP service method. Okay, it is nothing but this is simplification. Instead of you writing the servlet, the container takes care of creating the servlet and sending this content to the browser using JSP writer object. Okay, if you see view servlet, if you see this method declared a reference, an object of type JSP writer. Okay, where you wrote the content, can you see? Hi Java learners, I am from Scriptlet. That JSP page, that content came here. The container generates a class file with the method underscore JSP service. The underscore JSP service contains the code in the JSP page. Got it? But as it is, it won't be there. Instead of you writing the servlet code, the container will generate the servlet code. Can you see? That is the reason without declaring I could use out, because all the content that I wrote will come here. Since in this method already this method contains declarations for the out object. There are 9 implicit objects. In upcoming videos I will explain that 9 implicit objects also. There is something called implicit objects. These are out is one of the implicit objects. So the container will declare and create an object of JSP writer. That is the reason in JSP I can use out. Understand? So basically in Tomcat the class name is HTTP JSP base. In WebLogic this class may be different because different vendors may generate a different class which extends the HTTP servlet and which implements the HTTP JSP page. In Tomcat, okay, HTTP, see, in Tomcat, if you see the package HTTP JSP base, this class may be different from one server to another. In Tomcat it is called HTTP JSP page. In WebLogic this class name may be different, but all the server will create one class. This may be HTTP JSP base or WebLogic JSP base, something like that, but that will extend the HTTP servlet and implements the HTTP JSP page. Remember that the class name may be different for different servers, but they will extend the servlet and implement this HTTP JSP page. HTTP JSP page is nothing but an interface. It contains JSP service, and this interface extends another JSP page. It contains JSP init, JSP tester. Okay, so to recap all the things, every JSP page will be converted into servlet by container. First, if there are no errors, it will generate a Java file. If there are any errors, the translation, there are two phases called translation phase and compilation phase. During translation phase, if you forgot this, it will fail to generate a .java file, because only if you write properly without any syntax error, this file will be converted into .java file during translation phase. Then after converting into .java file, it will be converted into .class file. Okay, what will that .java file contains? It contains servlet code, right? But if you see that when this conversion will take place, when you request the JSP for the first time, it will be converted into .java file and compilation will be done, and after that it won't be compiled unless you do some modifications in JSP page. Okay, if you want to see, it is very easy to see that in NetBeans. That's why I have chosen NetBeans to explain this video. Okay, so basically this is a servlet, right? But how can you say that this is a servlet? Because if you want a class to be treated as a servlet, it should extend HTTP servlet. But in this example, if you see, it extends HTTP JSP base. But still I will call it as servlet, because HTTP JSP base is a class which extends HTTP servlet and as well as HTTP JSP page interface. Okay, since it already overridden the or implemented the HTTP JSP page, it contains method underscore JSP net underscore JSP destroy underscore JSP service. Okay, what you have to observe is all the JSP, the content you have written here in the scriptlets will go into the JSP service method. Remember that this is very important, and all the HTML code will also come here. Okay, understand? The reason I can use out without declaring is in the converted code, the code contains already the declarations for out config. Application is nothing but an object for servlet context. If you want to access context, servlet context in JSP, you just call with application. In servlet, you have to say get servlet context. In JSP it is very simple, just say application. If you want to access config, just say config, means it is servlet config. But in servlet you have to say get servlet config, right? So all these are called implicit objects. Now what we will do is we will create one class, new Java class, student varg.jl. Okay, I won't do much coding here, just I will say student public. I will create fname, lname. I will generate getter setters, right click, insert code, getter setter, generate. Okay, now if I want to access this class in student, suppose if I want to create one student, st is equal to new student, st dot set, what is the method name, set fname, okay, st dot set lname, we will try to run this. it's giving an error because to access a class from JSP we have to import. Okay, we have already covered scriptlet, and to use any class in JSP page we have to import that class. In Java file we will say import org.jlr.student, right? But in JSP, to import the class you have to use page directive. The page directive starts with percentage at the rate, and there are different types of page directives. Sorry, there are different types of directives. Page is one of the directive. If you see percentage at the rate, you will have to understand that it is a directive, and page is one of that directive. There is another thing like tag lib. Okay, we will see those things in upcoming videos, but for now you can we have to use page directive to import a class. That means to access student I have to import a class, right? So you have to specify package name org.jlr.student. Okay, now we will print that. How to print that? Out.println yes, f name is, in scriptlet you can write just like servlet or just like Java. Out.println st.get fname. Okay, we will run this. I didn't do any complex thing. I have just created a student object, but to access student you have to import the class using page directive. Can you see? First name is Java learner. Okay, now if you want to see the code, as I have explained, all this code will be in JSP underscore JSP service. To see the code, right click view servlet and go to underscore JSP servlet. As I discussed, out is an object for JSP writer. This is already declared, that's why I can use out in JSP file. Okay, all the thing that I have declared using out.println. Okay, using out.println, all those things will come here. Can you see the HTML content and the content you have written? Can you see? So the student is local to the JSP service method. It is not a class level, it is method level, because that student will move into JSP service. That's why the student can be accessed only within underscore JSP service. Okay, and now we have created a student and we have called fname and lname and then printed out.println. Okay, so whatever I have written, that came here. That is the JSP service. Hope you understand this, right? Now we have covered the directive. There are different directives. Directives start with percentage at the rate, page directive, tag lib directive. We have seen page directive, we have seen scriptlet, and now we will see the expression finally, and we will end this video. Okay, we will see the declaration in the we can see the declaration also, and we will see this expression and declaration, and we will end this video. Okay, now we will quickly see the expression time. instead of saying I have displayed fname using in from scriptlet, right? Instead of that, I can say st dot get lname. Let us run this and observe the output. Okay. Okay. We will refresh this. Can you see the last name? How come? How come it displayed last name? Okay, I will do something. Last name is so this line also displayed this line percentage is equal to also displayed the browser. Then what is the difference between out.println and this one? So when you write something, okay, when you write something between percentage equal to whatever you write here, you can this will be internally converted into out.println of whatever you write here. Okay, so nothing but this is a easy way of displaying content to the browser. You need not say out.println also, just say this is called expression tag. Okay, when you want to display something onto the browser, just say percentage is equal to and give the content, and this will be internally converted into out.println. If you see the code, see this line last name is, and in the servlet code generated you will see that this will be this st.get last lname will be given as an argument for out.println. See the converted Java file. Can you see? The last name is, and then the st.get lname is converted into this line. So it is a shortcut way of displaying something onto the browser. You need not write out.println. Okay, this is nothing but just copy pasting here. Okay, this line is equal to this line. Okay, so when you write expression tag, the content between start tag and end tag will be given as argument to out.println internally in the generated servlet. Can you see? The st.get lname is given as argument to out.println in the generated servlet code. And now we will see, if you observe, the student object is declared inside underscore JSP service. But if I want some class level variables, okay, then I can use declaration tag percentage student my class level is equal to new student. Now okay, now we will see the generated servlet. Search in this code where that where this the new student. What I will do is I will run again. Maybe I think it's not converted again. Observe where this my class level reference variable is in the generated .java file or the servlet. Okay, now we will see the generator servlet. Can you see where it went? Sorry, I did a small mistake. I have to the declaration tag syntax is percentage apostrophe. I didn't give the apostrophe, that's why it is treated like servlet. Okay, now I will see the code. I will run it again. So directive start with percentage at the rate and scriptlet start with percentage start and end with, this is the syntax. Expression don't end with semicolon. Okay, if you want to say hi hello world, just say hello world, don't end semicolon. This is wrong. Okay, you have to just say percent equal to hello world. This will be converted as out.print or println hello world. Okay, and declaration tag okay. Now we will see the generated. Can you see earlier the student in the JSP, in the hello world JSP, we have declared two object references, right? ST and my class level. ST went to JSP service method, but if you observe my class level reference, it is declared above all the methods in this class. That means this is treated as class level variable. If you want class level variable, you have to declare in using a declaration section. All the things you have declared in the declaration section will go above all the methods in this class. That means it will be treated as class level variables. If you remove this apostrophe, then this will be scriptlet, and all the content in the scriptlet will go inside a method called JSP service. Okay, in next coming videos we will see what is the purpose of uh, tag lib, and in detail about there are multiple attributes for directive tag also. If you observe, import is one of the attribute for page directive. Okay, and there are multiple attributes. If you see in this is also another page directive. It has two more attributes. Content type, if the content is text or HTML, you have to specify content type attribute. Page encoding, this is a UTF-8 format, that's why so basically if you see here we have covered three attributes: import, content type, page encoding, and many more. In the coming videos we will discuss about these things. Thank you.